Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to Certa Pro Painters presents Montez at midday. And I'm your host, Montez. Hope everyone is doing well on this snow day edition of the show. And we know how we do over snow days. Some days we take it well, and other days we don't. I guess we will see how today goes for sure with the weather. Hope you're warm, hope you're safe, and hope your vehicle is okay. And I hope you're doing well and your family and your pets. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it for you tuning in on the show today. If you're following us on Facebook, hello, Facebook. If you're following us on Twitter at W2B Dre Montez, hello, Twitter. And if you're following us on YouTube, Dre Montez, we thank you as well. But to the rest of us, how are we doing, good folk, good people? Alrighty, in the place to be. Hope everyone had a great weekend. How was your weekend? For us, what did you do? We know what the weather did and did not do to us, by the way, speaking. And we know what sports did for us as well as entertainment. There was so many things on to take your mind off of things over the weekend, to check out, see, view, see if you like it or whatnot. But it was definitely a whole lot of entertaining things on to keep you at bay. But most importantly, folks, it's snow day. And how are we doing? Got high fives in the building. Chest bump. Let's hug it out. Let's get in here for the real thing. We did not attend the studio today. We're taking a snow day. We'll be back in the studio on Wednesday and, of course, on Friday. But for today, we're at the old stomping ground, the old home studios. But how are you folks doing? If you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Special birthday shout out to my homie, my dog, former Navy man, Navy vet, U City's own, Herb Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday to my dude, HJ, and a huge Pittsburgh Steeler fan. If you're celebrating an anniversary today, happy anniversary for you. And at a perfect time, the kids would have been back in school today. Well, we know now the kids are not back in school. They're at home probably getting on your nerves already. But for the most part, how is everyone doing? Got a few things to talk about before we get into the show. Let's start it right on off with a little thing I like to call St. Louis snow days. You can take it as a child from the things you remember. You can take it back to your teenage years when you were out there hustling money, shoveling snow. Do people still do that of that nature? Good afternoon, Miss Minda. Thanks for tuning in. Going to Forest Park, going on Hippie Hill, ice skating for sure, neighborhood ice skating. If you live in Soulard, I'm telling you, the parties that folks have in Soulard in the daytime on snow days are some of the most impressive parties I've ever been a part of, participated in, or even visually seen. But the daytime parties in Soulard on snow days. I mentioned shoveling the snow, and we all got a buddy with a big truck. And what do we want to do with a buddy with a big truck? We want to hold on to the back of it and get a sleigh ride through the neighborhood. For some reason, we like doing that, or a huge parking lot, or even pulling off donuts somewhere. And what else we got? When I lived in Soulard, my old roommate and I, he had this green Gumby costume and a Yeti. So I put on the Gumby costume. He put on the Yeti. And he chased me through the neighborhood of Soulard. I'm telling you, the things you see in the daytime in neighborhoods during the snow is very comical. We're not talking about the people out there who didn't listen to us when he said, hey, it's been a while, Bob, since you've done any type of exercise. You sure you want to go out there and shovel that snow? Don't get up out the bed and think you're just going to go out there and start doing 30 minutes of straight cardio. You got to, hey, you better prepare. Better prepare. We're not saying you old. We're just saying that's different type of weather out there. That's weather you got to really familiarize yourself with, your body included. Dress warm, put that Vaseline on you. Figure out a plan. If you're driving, let somebody know which route you're taking. Okay? Keep people informed, because we have seen reports since Saturday night to this morning on the highways in Missouri, here in St. Louis City and St. Louis County, there have been over 350 car accidents. There have been over 170 people stranded in their vehicle. So please plan ahead. Nobody calling you, oh, a week, you can't drive. Don't tell me how to get around. We're just trying to tell you. A lot of construction went on you forgot about. How's it holding up? Things of that nature. So be careful out there. But it is STL snow days. I mean, the snow days here in St. Louis are very, very comical. So whether you're at Forest Park with the kids, have fun on Hippie Hill, sleigh riding, be safe. Soulard, be safe. Shoveling snow, be smart about it. Be very smart about it. Truck sleigh rides, be careful. Daytime parties, party on, Garth. And snow chasing each other in costumes. You know how I feel about that. Let's get it in and get it done for sure. What transpired over the weekend was what we have come to know as the final regular season of the football season. It's over with. The NFL season is over with. It is done. It is upon us. It is on a whole new level. And it's to the point it's to the point where folks are getting a little upset on days like this, because especially if your team didn't make it, or if your team almost made it, or you feel that void that everybody hates going through, rebuilding, rebranding, things of that nature. Things of that nature. We call it Black Monday in the NFL. That's when coaches lose their job. When they lose their job, some know they've been getting fired since week 10. Others very, very, very recently. And others knew, hey, this if we don't go to the playoffs, I'm out of here. Just things that we can see from body language and team of play. And a few questions I have on Black Monday is it fair to give a fire coach after 1 year? Is 1 year enough to prove that you can do the job, you understand the job? Is that any way to critique the process? And I'm speaking of Jared Mayo with the New England Football Patriots. Yeah, the Patriot way is done. A little bit of me thinking maybe Bob Kraft that petty. Is he mad they won and they missed out on the number 1 draft pick because now the Tennessee Titans get it? Or is it a little bit something more? Is it more of the player relations? We know, professionally speaking, we've known from other sports that if the player, a star player, a player that the owner likes, and a head coach are not getting along, they're not going to get rid of the player. They're going to get rid of the coach. And also lots of head coaches there's still heads rolling in the head coaching realm. Defensive coordinators are losing their jobs. Offensive coordinators are losing their jobs, as well as positional coaches probably looking for that opportunity to move up, probably cross promotion. So that's what's going on that side of football. We'll get back to football in 1 second. But as we're here in the new year, I've been hearing these sayings since November. Ever since November 1st has happened, I'm hearing these different traditions that people take part in. No shave November. And I just thought it was for the men, but allegedly women get involved too. So no shave November for men and women. So you think in December, okay, we home free. But I learned about something else the last week that happens in January, and it's called Dry January, meaning no drinking. No drinking. Now, for the people that participate in this, how often do you drink to go cold turkey for 31 days? Now, I've done a dry run for Lent. I think 3 years in a row I did that. And I quit before for other reasons back in late 90s, early 2000s. But just to quit for dry January, for what? And where's this money going? So every time you want to drink, are you putting money in a device around your house, your car, your bank account? What is happening with this money that people are saving during dry January? Is this for a spring trip? Is this to upgrade your wardrobe, your vehicle, your living situation? What is being done with the money that you're saving for dry January? What Like the fellas that shave all the time. What did you do with the money you save for No Shave November? Those are the questions I have. You know, if you're gonna stop doing something, hey, if it makes you feel good and you're not hurting nobody, do it. But when it's going across the board and people, you won't see me in February, Dre. Okay, where you going, Todd? Oh, it's dry January. I stay home. What? To do what? What is? So you raise hell 11 months out of the year, but for 31 days of the year, you're not drinking. Okay. I just want to know what people are doing with the money that is being saved during dry January. I've heard more about dry January the past week and a half than ever before. Just it is. Thank you, D from D&D Don't Get Butthurt, for your comments and concerns about dry January. We're not asking you to participate in dry January. I'm just saying overall, there are people out there participating in dry January. If you're off today and you're feeling a little freaked out because of the weather, hey, as long as your vehicle's okay and you're warm and you got food in your house, we're cheering for you. Those of you that are having flashbacks of what happened back in the days of COVID days, you know, how some people were having a little time to entertain themselves and get out of the madness in their own head. There were a few folks yesterday that I spoke to that was going through those early signs of the similarities of COVID, being on that lockdown, trying to entertain yourself. You have books, you have movies, there's so many different streaming services. There are entertaining values on social media. You don't have to participate in anything that's on social media, but there are some things on social media that I think are very comical if you find yourself not being entertained as you're at home, off work. Maybe your job is shut down. Maybe your vehicle is down at the moment. But don't let it get to you like the way COVID was. But I think we did a pretty good job doing COVID for us, entertaining ourselves through the interwebs. We definitely did a good job of that. Speaking of a good job of that, I noticed over the weekend, well, since the holiday break, how the different sports have been trying to break down the narrative of players sitting out. I'm not talking about load management. I'm talking about whether it's communication with the player and the coach or the training staff, but everyone has their reasons why these athletes have been sitting out. And I've been hearing this since the Christmas holiday season. Some are warranted. Some we kind of understand. I get the age. I get the sport that some of these guys play. I get what you did the night before. But at the same time, I'm worried about the fans. I'm not talking about the little baby son of a bitches. I'm talking about the ones who paid for the tickets, the adults. I'm not talking about 12-year-old Timmy and 9-year-old Savannah. They didn't put nothing on this ticket. So if their favorite player don't show up and the kid is crying, that gets all emotions through social media. But what about the adults that paid for these damn tickets, that rented that car, got the Airbnb, got the hotel, got all the snacks to see my favorite player or a player I like ball out, and you just decide to sit out the game 2 hours before the game? No medical excuse, no nothing. Just, I don't want to play nothing. I don't like Philly games in the afternoon. What? I think it needs to be a little bit more transparency, conversation, communication with the fans that are coming to these games, and players just, hey, I ain't gonna play. I ain't playing. Now, if you hurt, you hurt. But I need to see a report. We need to see an actual report what's going on. Back in the day, they were really good at letting us know who's playing, who's not going to play, the possibility of playing. Maybe we need to get Vegas involved, because when Vegas speaks, everyone listens. Anytime Vegas has a problem with a sport, what happened? They fix it right away, don't they? They fix it right away. They do. I swear. Poor cat litter. My man Vinny. I got Vinny coming up for a special episode. We're going to cook some food on the show. Looking forward to that. We're still working out the kinks of that for sure. But if you just tuning in, thank you so much. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. And hello, Twitter. And to the rest of us, How is it going on this Make It Happen Monday? It's snow day, people. What's on your movie list? What's on your to-do list? Who's saying the hell with laundry? Who got something in the crock pot right now? Hmm? Or who just plan on having sex all day or self-pleasuring themselves all day? You know, this type of weather will do that. A kid will be born in a few months after my girl pregnant. By the way, let's put out a disclaimer for all people, all jokes aside, whoever's stranded at their side chick or side dude due to this weather, we're praying for you that nothing bad comes of this when you return home. My advice is to be truthful. Just tell the truth. Because if your car's stuck at your side piece house, whew, mm, mm. What if somebody get the balls or the gall to foot it and walk over to go see their girl, their main girl, and the side dude's still there? Oh boy, now we got problems. Now we got problems. Oh boy. Oh boy. Mm, mm, mm. Speaking of oh boy, I became a fan of Derrick Rose from a Sports Illustrated article back in the day. He wasn't even in college yet. Just about this young man. You know that back in the back of Sports Illustrated, Rick Riley would write a editorial piece, and it'd also be a athlete they would spotlight as a male or female from all over the country. And you can read up on them and tell you about these kids in the classroom, out of the classroom, their sports, their likes, things of that nature. And I became very interested in that article. I was like, I want to see where this young man goes. Now, the whole college process with Derrick Rose didn't go as planned for most. But when you just want to ball out, that's all you care about, and adults get involved in your storyline, it could be some missing pieces of the information. Either what happened at Memphis or Kentucky. The Derrick Rose story is a phenomenal story. His NBA playing career. If it wasn't the way that man twist and contort his body, John Morant, you may want to listen to this. The way that man contorts his body. D-Ray, we try to tell you to listen. You don't think you're going to play a 20-year run. You don't think you're going to play the league injury-free. Derrick Rose had some wild and insane injuries. In the sports world, we play this game all the time. We always want to say, what if? What if that tarp wouldn't have ran over Vince Coleman here in St. Louis? What if Bo Jackson wouldn't have broke his hip? What if they'd have diagnosed Sam Bowie the right way if they would have known what an ACL and MCL sprain was back then? The what if in sports, sometimes a fun game, and other times it's like, man, just reminiscing and thinking back to the playing days of these guys when we saw them at the peak of their performance. And with Derrick Rose, excitement on the court. This man gave you 48 minutes, whether you wanted the business or not. I'm talking up and down the court. Watch Derrick Rose highlights. I don't think Chicago, 2 numbers should ever be worn again in Chicago. 23 and 1. No. I think when you have done something like that for a particular sport, especially the city that sport is in, some things you can never forget. You just can never, there will never be nothing that could take away the Jordan flu game. Nothing. Michael Jordan, come fly with me, VHS. I didn't say DVD, VHS tape. Come fly with me. You swear it was flying for real. And not a Bulls fan, but an appreciator of good, talented, athletic NBA players. I was a fan of Derrick Rose. And D Rose was something of a different nature for sure. He was one to deal with. He was one to give you that business. And he loved the game. Watching athletes play a particular sport and they love playing the sport, damn the money, damn why I'm playing it. I just want to get out here and play. When you have athletes like that, they are fun to watch, and they try to give you everything of them each and every time they're on the field, court, or ice. Out there, they definitely will try to do that right there. Happy New Year to you, cuz, for sure. Got some folks watching and tuning in today. Thank you so much. I know folks are off work today. Weather's a little bad all over the place, but just be safe and be careful out there, good folk, good people, for sure. But Derrick Rose over the weekend, they retired his jersey in Chicago. But that's not the part that got me. Did you hear the speech Derrick Rose gave to his son? This man wasn't talking to the crowd. He was talking directly to his son. Directly to his son. I done heard some great speeches in my life. You know, the KG speech. The KG speech when talking about Kevin Garnett when he won a championship. It's just been some great Michael Jordan speech when he went to the NBA Hall of Fame. Allen Iverson's. There's been some great basketball speeches given out there. But this one here, and we know how it is in the Black community with the father syndrome and the fathers missing action that play professional sports with kids all over the damn place. Tyreek, you might want to get in here too. But the way this man looked at his son to make sure his son listened to him and understood what he was trying to say about there's a difference between being good at something and being great at something. You have to power through the good and the bad of everything to get the complete appreciation of it, but you never know it until you're going through that situation. But throughout your life, throughout your young years, your adolescent years, and your young adult years, you're going to get a lot of people trying to tell you things about what you're about to face. But sometimes we're so naive and selfish and hard-headed, we're not taking heed to the words that people are telling us. But if you sit back and have a moment of reflection, meditate, and think about some of the times you had an obstacle happen in your life, I guarantee a little gazoo moment happens where that little person on your shoulder told you about that experience, but no, you just want to, I'm going to do it this way. How'd that turn out for you? But it's interesting, and I find it now we're getting more and more former athletes that are going into this mentorship of taking it personally, not just opening up schools in their name, but being in the present, in the moment, in the face of these kids that are going through obstacles that they can resonate with. But the tables are turning. They're showing them, hey, this is the way we can do this now. We can't do it the way I did it in my day because those methods don't work anymore. There's a new way to do it. It's like how we got angry back in the day. Remember we got angry in school? What the teacher tell you to do? Go in the corner, calm down. Or put you in the back of the room. They can't do that anymore. You got to talk it out. We got to talk this out. You can write it down or we can talk it out. But we're not going to silence you anymore. And that's what was happening for so long. A lot of kids were being silent. Shut up. Let me talk first. All that's going on. But when it's a back and forth moment, check out some of the videos with Derrick Rose and his son, the conversations that they have. How you folks doing on this Mamba Mentality Monday? It's your boy, Dre Montez. We're being brought to you by a title sponsor, Certa Pro Painters. Let the professionals do the work. We try to tell people that all the time. Let the professionals do the work. Tell you what, we're going to take a short break here, have a word from my sponsor, and come right back with a little bit more of sports, entertainment, thoughts, and more. Be right back.
St. Louis, are you suffering from depression? Our advanced mental health treatments offer support to those facing depression. Supported by science and over 1 million treatments administered, a countless number of lives have been revitalized with our newfound healing process. Because your well-being matters, we have 2 convenient St. Louis locations dedicated to your transformative pursuit of mental wellness. We understand the importance of informed decisions. Research, discover, and take the first step toward a brighter tomorrow. Visit palmiertms.com to uncover more about our non-drug treatment for depression, covered by all major insurance plans. Let us stand by your side on this journey towards mental wellness. Contact us today.
Hey, all right, good people, good folk, and welcome back to Certa Pro Painters presents Montez at midday. We're taking a snow day here at Studio 70, the home studio. We'll be back in the studio on Wednesday for sure. But for the rest of you, how are we doing, good folk? Well, it definitely did what it said it was going to do. It snowed. And if you're going through some issues, we got some folks out here that possibly help you out along the way with your vehicle issue. Fairway Automotive with 4 locations to serve you for sure. Whether you have today's car or a modern vehicle, they can take care of you for sure. Fairway Automotive, family owned, family run. Check them out today. Tell them Montez sent you for sure. Good folk, good people. And on days like this, you can also do your homework, whether you're buying or selling a home. You can reach out to the talented Miss Sarah Duncan. She can help you get set up for sure. Good folks, good people. And we saw some beautiful, beautiful snow pictures from around St. Louis and the county and also downtown Belle Vegas. Shout out to the folks of Belleville as well. Good folks, good people. Well, how did your football team do this season? Are you in the playoffs of the 14 teams in? Are you bandwagoning it this year? You pissed off? You burning jerseys? You don't want to care about football no more for a while? You need a psychological break? How did your season go for you? You're amongst friends. We can talk. Get it off your chest. It's okay. Use your words. Use your words. What they do to you? Well, we knew that could be a common possibility. But I, since 1982, have been a Denver Bronco fan. And I have not tasted the playoffs in 9 seasons. But yesterday, we got in there. We got in there. Damn the score. Damn who was playing. Damn who not. Those are part of the game. If you are making a run for the Super Bowl and you got a really good damn record and a high seed, you're not playing everybody. Talk to Green Bay. Who hurt? The quarterback. Huh? Talk to Houston. Who hurt? But if you have to play to get in, you have to play. I have been up and down with this Denver Bronco team for the past 4 years. From coaching decisions to bad coaching hire, bad player pickups, bad signings, the whole 9. Wasn't making sense. I did not know how I felt about Mr. How can I put it? Mr. 600-page playbook, Sean Payton, but it seems it's worked out in my favor. Last year we were ups and browns, saw a little bit of a bright spot of what could possibly happen, and then we hear great things about what was happening in camp with Mr. Bo Nix. He was picking this up a little far advanced to what folks thought. But I, speaking to my other orange and blue members, I did not want to get myself and my hopes up real high. I don't like when every time there's a player on your team, somebody brings up who he reminds them of that used to play on the team. I didn't like everybody was saying, hey, he kind of reminds you of Johnny Elway. No, he does not. No, he does not. Bo Nix reminds me of Bo Nix. I've been watching Bo Nix since he was in high school on that prep football show. Know his dad went to Auburn. I hope most starts in collegiate football history. We get all that. Brock Purdy, same thing. Stayed 4 years in college. They learned the fundamentals of the game. There was no rush. There was no early nothing. They went through the program the way you should go through it. And they're at the point I think they should be at in their football IQ, considering how long they've been playing said position at quarterback. But back to my Broncos. That defense, we led the league in sacks. Got one of the toughest defenses in the league this year. The running game, it's getting to a point where running the ball matters. Ball security, ball safety, no turnovers, knowing when to throw the ball, knowing when to get out of bounds. Only thing I want to figure out, Sean Payton, I'm talking to you. These 4th and 2s, hey, it's playoff time. Ain't no second guessing now. I'm not saying go 4th and 2 on our own 20, no crazy things like that, but keep it football minded. Keep it football minded. To the Cincinnati Bengals and the Bengals Nation and fans, I only know 2 of you for real. 1, 2, 3. Cancun, that's you guys are headed. Look, for the past 4 years, we have been trying to tell y'all to fix what? The offensive line. for the past 2 years been trying to tell you to what? Tweak up that defense. What did you do? Nothing. You did nothing. Yeah, you led the league in passing with your quarterback. You got a receiver that's a three-headed monster. He got the triple crown. You got a defensive player leading the league in rushing. You have all three of those on one team, you're supposed to be in the playoffs. If I tell you there's a team that has a quarterback that led the league in passing, that has a receiver that led the league in yards, led the league in reception, led the league in touchdowns, and has a defensive player that led the league in sacks, you would say they got to be a number one seed. Every year, Cincinnati starts out the same year, slow. I blame this year on Joe Burrow doing that damn Felicity hairstyle. Who told you to do your hair like that? You just can't change your hairstyle without getting people votes on it and talking about this. Who told you to come in there with that Superman and witness protection program hairstyle? Yeah, I remember Joe Burrow hairstyle in camp. Who told you? You threw the whole mojo off. The whole thing. Then you hurt your foot. You didn't want to take the time off like I suggested, so you'd be ready for the entire season. No, we're gonna play on it. What happened? What happened? That's what happened. I don't really believe Lamar Action Jackson numbers this year. They're the first team in NFL history over 4,000 yards passing. No, over 5,000 yards passing and over 3,000 yards rushing. The NFL lit it up this year, statistically speaking. Lit it up. Lit it up. I'm glad it didn't get to that year that 11-5 was a wild card in the AFC. Remember that year? 11-5 was a wild card. You know how competitive that is? I think the league is going to get to that point again in the next coming years. That Detroit and Minnesota game last night. Minnesota and Detroit were playing for the number one seed. Looking at the highlights and watching that game, I can't explain to you if Minnesota would have scored every time they were in the red zone, somebody would have filed charges of accusing them to run the score. What was going on with Mr. Donald? What was – something was off. That wasn't the same Minnesota team that we've seen in weeks past. But he hasn't really been challenged this year as the season was winding down. So that was probably the most challenging game they had moving into the playoffs. But is that the way you want to go into the playoffs, losing a game that way and missing that many scoring opportunities in the red zone? I know this game didn't matter, but I watched it, and I went up. This man for the 49ers, the receiver, and I guess the corner, got into it with the Arizona Cardinals. And it got to the point where the 49ers receiver was ejected. But on the last regular season game of the season, a majority of players that are still playing out there balling out, trying to get some incentive money. He was 25 yards away from getting his incentive bonus, but he gets ejected from the game for fighting. NFL referees, conduct committee. This offseason, this year, we're going to address something that is driving me bonkers. When NFL players get up and excited, they caught the ball, they held on to the ball, they survived the hit, and they got a first down, and they got up and want to signal that they got a first down, but it comes out like a pion. Here's what we need to do. 15 yards ain't enough. Now, finding them isn't enough. Tell you what, ejection. That's that game check. Don't get them on up out of it. What makes you want to put out a pion just because you survived a hit and got a first down? Some of these celebrations and gestures, I just don't get it. The subliminal ones, the woke ones. I mean, you just got a touchdown. You caught a ball. It was a home run. You scored a goal from the blue line. Just give me a normal, spontaneous celebration. That's it. These ones that are scripted, you're going too far. I think right now they're gonna make white chicks for just because of what Detroit Lions did, especially if they win the Super Bowl. But I need the NFL referees association, the ethics and code of conduct committee to get together and let's figure out the proper punishment next season when they get up showing the pew. Because it's to the point it's trickling down in college. And you know in high school, they copy every damn thing a pro player do, a college player do, anybody on the interwebs do. And you know it's in Pop Warner. Lord have mercy. Have you seen the Pop Warner celebration in Florida? I couldn't imagine myself doing that. And my father seeing me do that. And I am 8 to 10 years old. I wouldn't have no hide left out in public or in the car or when I got home. That's probably 3 ass whoopings right there for sure. But nowadays, it's going unnoticed. It's cute. They laughing. It's like when your friends got a little baby that cuss and they think it's cute when they tell the baby to say shit. No, it's not. That's not cute. That's gonna lead up to more things. But people used to think that's cute. Come here, look. Watch my daughter cuss. What? Who? What is? I don't know. And then the teams that really, really are excited that the season is over with. The Tennessee Titans. Whew. Wow. The Cleveland Browns. Oh, my God. This boy, Deshaun Watson, has not played since his last massage parlor. And it came out yesterday that he is set back again in his rehabilitation recovery. What is he doing in rehab? But what is he doing? I need video footage on this quarterback as he's in rehab to see what is he doing to be set back. What happened that he was set back? So based on what happened yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 4 picks in the draft would be the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, and the Patriots. And what's crazy, last week, the Giants were in position to get the number 1. What's crazy, yesterday, the Patriots in position to get the number 1. And out of nowhere, the Titans get the number 1. It's like nobody's on board here. We're not saying tanking is a bad thing, but if we're trying to get better as a team and we know we need some top picks, what's going on here? What is going on here? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans, 11 years straight with 1,000 yards receiving, $3.5 million. Did you see that celebration? Did you? That man made $6 million in incentives yesterday. Look here. I understand Tampa Bay. A lot of people know Tampa Bay players due to when Tom Brady was there. They were on the network all the time. And now seeing Baker Mayfield put up career numbers since he's been playing in the NFL and seeing how excited that team was yesterday. I like watching Tampa Bay play. They're fun to watch. They're up there with the Washington Commanders. They're another fun football team to watch. And I tell you what, that draft in the offseason, I got a funny feeling that the Washington Commanders are going to come out of this thing on top like a gem. Like they're building something pretty special. And that fan base, oh my. Speaking of a fan base, yesterday also let a lot of billionaires know they're not as smart as they thought they were. Case in point, got the New England Football Patriots, New York Football Jets, and I have to throw in an honorable mention of the Atlanta Falcons. Considering what they put Belichick through in the offseason, didn't hire him. Considering what they gave Kirk, I'm your favorite third cousin, and consider what Michael Penix continued to show everybody. I can ball out, good people. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. One day, they're going to listen to the people that they hired to do a job they should be doing instead of taking matters into their own hand. And the Jets owner going to say, his 16-year-old son is not working for the Jets. Prove us wrong in the draft. Huh? Prove us wrong in the draft. Show us on your body that he's not involved. I call BS for sure on that one. BS big time. But the NFL season is down. Teams that are in the playoffs, I'm looking forward to seeing what Philly's going to do, considering the alleged rumors of what's going on the sideline and in the locker room. What's going on with Pittsburgh? Is Russ really ready for this thing here? And what's really going on the fact that the two favorites in this, Kansas City and the Lions, to match up in the Super Bowl. Is that something that we think is really going to happen, that those two teams could possibly face off in the Super Bowl? I think the way the Detroit Lions defense is capable of playing, they've shown us throughout this year what that offense is capable of doing, and that receiving core that they have could be something very interesting to see. We know what Kansas City can bring to the table. Statistically, not the type of year that you saw or thought Patrick Mahomes would have, but I'm thinking he's at that point right now. Those numbers don't matter. What matters right now is how far that team can go in the month of January into February, the Super Bowl. I think that's where Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Football Chiefs are at for sure. But football is over with. The regular season is done. What an amazing season that we had. It went back in too fast, as it always does. It seemed like we were just talking about the incredible matchups in week one. We were just talking about that, new food we're going to try as we're watching football. The new setup people have had. It just didn't go that way for a lot of teams. But again, as a Denver Bronco fan, it feels good to actually know for fact and sure, no doubt, playing in the wild card game. It's against Buffalo. That's no cakewalk right there at all. We know what Josh going to do. He going to bring it to the table, bring it to the forefront. The Buffalo Bills. Von Miller, his sack bonus yesterday as well. Across the league, people were getting that little money, and that's fun to see, especially from the seasoned vets out there getting that money. You don't know nothing about that. And probably our bad beat of the day has to go to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill says he wants out of Miami. Well, I want out too. If I had 4 kids in one season with 4 different women and I'm married, shit. Man, you done had a house fire. You done had injuries you normally not accustomed to. You've had 4 kids this year by 4 different women, and you're married. I want to get the hell up out of there too. But you got the bag already. When you love Kansas City, you love satisfied. You got your ring. You good. You just want to go get your money now because you knew you're not going to get that type of money in Kansas City. They got to spread the love with too many people, and you're not the star there. But in Miami, you went to a place where you were the star to bring in. You got that bag. And now it's not working out the way you thought. Well, I don't think nobody in Miami thought what has transpired the past 3 seasons with the Dolphins was going to go that way. You had your issues with coaches and players. Oh boy, that was horrible. That's pretty bad. Then you had the Tua situation. We still don't know if Tua is out the clear. When he came back, 2-3 weeks later, and this joker tries to make a tackle leading with his head. What is Tua? You didn't get. I don't think you're taking this seriously. So when you're a seasoned vet and you didn't get your 1,000 yards and you want to win, it does hurt the ego a little bit. Whether you were told the coaches or the coaches told you, or miscommunication, or whoever it was decided you weren't going to play the fourth quarter, that's on you guys. You're out of the hunt. But again, you're taking your anger out on the fans. What I got to do this? You ever had friends you cool with and they get into an argument in front of you and they tell you to shut the hell up? You're like, but I didn't do nothing. Why are you mad at me? I'm just here. I have nothing to do with y'all argument. That's on y'all. But and I think some athletes go through that. They can't take it out on the ownership group. You're gonna lose that all day. You can go to social media, you can go to the regular media, but when it comes to your dissatisfaction with your sports team or franchise, that's a whole different level of pettiness sometimes. Sometimes it comes, well, you and you're right. Then other times we're like, hold on. Like Antonio Brown's situation. He did what? It's like that. The guy with the Buffalo Bills that walked off the field this year to go home. He retired. Was that the right way? Probably him. Probably him. I understand how Tyreek feels. When you want to win and you're part of a franchise, they're not going nowhere. Nowhere. They can't play in cold weather, and they have a head coach that knows everything. You can't tell Mike Daniels nothing. He's the smartest motherfucker on the planet. You let him tell it. If you ever see him on Hard Knocks, listen to the way he talks about what he's in, what he's been through, and where he's at. And you tell me you can raise your hand and give him any type of insightful input. I bet it's a fat no. And there are a lot of coaches like that. A lot of them. Some still have their job, and some have lost their jobs, and some have learned to change their ways to understand the changing of the times. You can't coach the same way you did 10 years ago. That shit don't work no more. No. You have, I want to say, was it the Hard Knocks with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh when they were breaking down what teams go through in walkthroughs, progression of the week, getting better, understand the game plan, understanding doing your job. The breakdown of not understanding your job when you got to go to the actual book and show somebody exactly what you're talking about. Some teams and players need that. Break it all the way down to its purest form, coach, that I can understand this, that I can do it and execute it and do my job. That's okay. But you just can't yell out, square up, block down. What? You got to be in there. Because you figure where these players are coming from that you're getting. They're not getting that same old school football 101 type of strategic thinking. We got some players in the NFL who never had an offensive playbook, and they play quarterback. We only have 4 plays. That's all we had. What? You know how far you have set back the clock when you go with a team and they find out you don't understand an NFL playbook or a collegiate playbook? Oh boy. Now you got to really go back to your A's and B's and C's when it gets to that form. But good folks, good people, going to take one more break and come back and have some thoughts in the entertainment world of the Golden Globes and some entertaining food as well. Again, this is Certa Pro Painters presents It's Snow Day with your boy Dre Montez. We'll be right back after a word from my sponsor.
Mountain as smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
All right, good people. Welcome back to Certa Pro Painters presents Montez at Midday. I'm your boy, Dre Montez. Hope everyone is doing well on this snow day. Make it happen Monday. Can't believe them damn kids not back in school. It makes you think a little bit out there, don't it? All right. If you're in the Soulard area, I don't know if they're open today due to the weather situation, but the best smash burgers in town is down at Jack Nolan's in Soulard. Let them know Dre Montez sent you. All my Soulardians out there, I hope you guys are playing safe and behaving yourself as well. Behaving yourself out there. I think a few people have adjusted their hours and schedule for the safety of their employees as well as their patrons and their establishments. But I think for the most part, a lot of folks open up this afternoon or later on this afternoon or possibly even tomorrow. But please call or check before you go to your favorite watering hole or establishment. Good folk, good people. But as we tuned in to the show today, we broke down a few things to get you caught up. We talked about today's Black Monday in the NFL coaching, firing situation from head coaches to coordinators to position coaches. It is happening today. You're getting people venting. You find out who got their incentives, who did not. Also find about this thing called Dry January. I would never participate in it, but I wanted to know, what are you doing with the money that you save from drinking if you're going dry in January? Let's talk about sitting out games. I get it. I understand it, but who is it all for? Also talked about Derrick Rose's speech over the weekend as Chicago Bulls retired his number. I think 23-1 should never be worn again by the Chicago Bulls by anyone. Anyone. That speech he gave was powerful. Powerful. The NFL final weekend was yesterday. Some people in on a high note, some people very sad, and other teams on a 1-2-3 Cancun. By the way, we woke up in a world of snow after Christmas. Ain't that fitting? I don't know why people get so caught up in their feelings for a white Christmas, and when we get one, we get all giddy like a little kid in a snow globe or Hallmark or a Lifetime movie. But this snow that came here in the past 2 days, as they call it, Thunderstorm 2024, St. Louis style. Pew, 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 pew. On the interwebs, for the most part, you guys have paid attention. From the news, for the most part, some of you have paid attention. But from the traffic reports, the accidents and the stalled out, I don't think you guys are really understanding this. If you really got to go, you got to go. I know how it is. Some people have those jobs no matter what. You better have your ass here. But it's a hurricane, tornado, volcano. I don't care. Get here. Some people have jobs like that. So I'm not trying to tell you to quit your job or tell your job to shove it, but just drive responsible. Speaking of responsible, last night was the Golden Globe Awards, and it did not disappoint me at all. St. Louis's very own Nikki Glazer was the host. Look here. It's the way she goes off. If you're not into pop culture, if you're not into entertainment, if you don't understand the comedic side of sports, you're not going to get a lot of the shit she says. I love quick-witted people, especially when they're easy on the eyes. She did a great job of hosting the Golden Globes. Two things I realized. I watched the TV show miniseries Shogun back in the 80s. I refuse to this time in 2025 to watch any shows or movies that are predominantly done with subtitles. No. As a person with vision issues, I'm not reading, listening, reading, looking up, reading. Look, no. Not gonna do it. No. Andrew Brody's movie, Adrian Brody's movie, 3.5 hours. Not gonna do it. Nope. Wicked. Barbie ruined everything. Nope. I'm done. I'm done on those movies that try to bring everybody together for why? Why? But didn't know that Demi Moore, been in the industry this damn long, won her very first Golden Globe for the Netflix movie Substance. No idea. Just what? Her first one? Her first one. I love the costumes. I love Homeboy from Billions. His swag. He had that whole Hunter S look going on last night. It was a good show. It was to the point. They didn't drag it out too much. Everybody said the right speeches and everything. Zoe Zidane killed it with her speech. I got to watch that movie today. I didn't know she was rapping in that movie, so I got to watch that. It's about a good movie I've never heard of that was in the presentation, not necessarily one. I'm going to check it out. And I wish the Golden Globes gave us more of a snippet of movies instead of just the people and the title of the movie. Not everybody can get up 20-second clip, but a nice little 10-second clip for each category of the movie or presentations that's going on would be nice, so people can like, okay. But just putting the actor or actress up in the title of their movie, what is the preview? I mean, where's that at? I wish the Golden Globes would brought that back. What else did I like about the Golden Globes? All the presenters, they did a damn good job. Everybody had, it didn't get too dark politically. No one went off the grid with religion. There was nobody got slapped. Nobody got slapped. May saw a few people hooking up at the tables in the background, not by the stand-in or the sit-in either. So I was pausing the TV, zooming in on the Twitter as well, or X, depending where you're at. So what I've come to my conclusion in watching football on Saturday and Sunday, the madness of college football, the Golden Globes, weed food has inspired a lot. People that smoke weed, that come up with these crazy concoctions of what to eat, the mainstream restaurants have got on them now. Look at some of these commercials of the food combination. What? That's a pothead meal. These pothead meals are becoming popular, and I think they're about to become even more popular because people have time on their hand. And for one more time, again, if you have a crock pot or a air fryer, say it with me, class, you are not a cook. Okay, so stop telling people that no, you're preparing something. You're not cooking nothing. But all these, the brownie hamburger, that's a pothead special. A weed head that came up with that. Where's the credibility for the potheads that come up with some of these meals? Dipping a fry in your damn chocolate shake Wendy. Pothead. Eating Chef Boyardee out of a can. Pothead. Pothead things in pothead food. They need their proper credibility out there. I'm not talking about hood food or poor food. No. We all know what a sugar sandwich is and a mayonnaise sandwich is. You know, those are just creative things you could do as a kid. Oh, man. Too much time on your hands is always a good time. Guys, it is St. Louis snow days. Be careful if you're going to Forest Park. Be careful, have fun. All my Soulardians, be careful, my Belvivians. If you're shoveling snow and you're over the age of 40, every 10 minutes, come in. Take your break. Let them youngsters do it. If you're sleigh riding on the back of a pickup truck today, have fun. Be careful. Daytime parties, house parties, those are the ones. Epic ones in Soulard. And if you have a costume, like a Yeti, and you want to chase each other through the neighborhood, have fun at it, guys. Have fun. Again, Black Monday is going on. I guess we're going to continue the coaching carousel going on throughout the NFL. But boys and girls, children of all ages, I am happy and ecstatic that my team is in the playoffs. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. And also, my youngest son, Tim, told me the greatest news a dad could hear. He made the football team. My son's going to play JUCO football. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Christian College Academy in Detroit. Oh, my God. Outside of Detroit. I'm excited. He told me that news on Friday, and I was just trying to compartmentalize what he just told me because I thought all my kids were done playing ball. They thought they were all pretty much done. And he told me this news. Oh, because I'm on the phase now of the grandkids. It's not getting tall over there, but you know, we've been warned. Don't be pressing sports on kids no more. You got to let them be who they are. Shit. Let my grandson be 6'5" and 10 years old. All right, folks. Thanks again for listening, tuning in to Sports entertainment, thoughts, and more with your boy Dre Montez. Live from Studio 70 today. Again, thank you to our title sponsor, Certa Pro Painters, as we try to give it to you and the business. And to the rest of you, enjoy your time out today. And if them kids still at home with you, don't let them work on your nerves. Don't let them work on your nerves. Don't let them do it. You know how they will try to do it. They will try to do it, but don't let them do it, kids. Don't let them do it. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here, and we'll holler at you Wednesday. Until next time, peace, and we will talk to you later. Thanks again for listening to Montez at Midday. Peace.